Welcome to Catholic Views, where we get to know the faith and those who live it. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. In the studio with me today, I have two of my very favorite people, Jeff and Lois Heron. Welcome, Jeff and Lois.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you.
Yes, Jeff and Lois are unfortunately going to be moving.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was like a very bad day for me when I read your email. It was like,
It's a bad day for me to send it.
no. I literally put my hands on my head when I got to that last and I was like, no.
Right.
But, life has a funny way of
Yeah.
changing things up.
It sure does.
God leads you in different ways.
Yeah.
That's actually why we wanted to have you guys come on today, was to talk about, first of all, what's going on, and just to talk about how we have to surrender to God's will, how sometimes suffering and sacrifice happen in life, and sometimes in big ways, and we just have to find our way through it and lean on God to do that. So you guys talk about this stuff far better than I do, so I'm going to... That's why you're here. So for those who don't know you, can you just real quick give us a background of how you got here?
Sure. I'm just trying to condense this
Yes, I know.
in the
Into
shortest
like
way
3
possible.
minutes.
Yeah. Been a Christ follower since preteen days.
Yeah.
Sensed a call into the pastoral ministry in the Wesleyan denomination as a college sophomore.
Oh, wow.
Became a pastor in that denomination. Pastored in that church for 34 years, the last 18 years of which were here in Sioux Falls. Left the ministry in December of 12, started attending the cathedral in the spring of 13, went through OCIA in 14-15, and came into the church as confirmed Catholics Easter Vigil of 2015.
Yeah. That's a whirlwind of a few years.
Good job.
That was great. No kidding. And Lois, you also grew up, you were not Catholic growing up.
No. Yeah, I've always known that the Lord is my Savior,
Yes,
that kind
yes,
of thing.
yes.
Yeah.
But you came in the same time with Jeff, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Came in together.
We made
Yeah.
our journeys differently and different lengths, but we came together, which that's what
Yeah.
we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it worked out just
Yeah.
beautifully.
I don't remember. I mean, I've heard your story. Of course, you told it to me. But I don't remember. Were you on the road first or was Jeff?
She was.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't opposed.
No,
Right.
not at all. She became a Benedictine oblate
Oh, that's right.
as a Wesleyan pastor's wife.
I was the only Protestant in the group.
I bet you were.
She was a novelty.
And they were like, it's okay. You won't be Protestant very much longer.
Yeah, I'm sure they were thinking that.
Okay. So it was really a whirlwind and quite a journey for the two of you. So since then, Jeff, you've been doing OCIA in the church. You've really, most converts are really on fire.
Right.
And you guys are really on fire still,
thank you.
10 years later.
We think we are. We want to be.
Yes.
We love the church.
Yes. And how has the OCIA thing been for you? I know that I hear from you a lot, and I just love hearing the things you have.
This past year was the ninth year, the ninth group that I was blessed and privileged to lead through OCIA. Apart from leaving the cathedral and leaving this diocese, OCIA is right up there, side by side with them. That's the hardest part of leaving Sioux Falls for us.
Yeah.
I have two boxes. Our kids would always say, "Why are you staying in Sioux Falls? Why don't you move and be closer to one of us?" And I would always say, "Well, this is where I work, and we love our parish, and I'm involved in OCIA, and I love doing that."
Yep.
And now I can only check one box because I'm retiring,
Right.
and of course we can go to Mass wherever we live.
Yes.
And so we're moving.
Yes. It's so sad. Where are you moving?
We're going to be moving to Washington, Indiana.
Okay.
Our new parish will be Our Lady of Hope, which is in the
I love
Evansville diocese.
Yeah.
It's a vibrant diocese.
Yeah.
Our kids that live there go there.
Okay.
So
Is that a
we've been
bigger
there.
town, smaller town?
It's a town of about 15,000.
Okay.
So
that'll
not
be
huge.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it has some amenities, and that's where our oldest daughter and her husband and their almost 8 children live.
Oh, wow. Almost 8 children.
We got
one is
another
about
one
to be born, I
In
assume.
January.
It's not like a half a child somewhere.
Yeah, due in January.
And then where are the rest of your kids?
Our oldest, Jason, and his wife and children live in Yankton. And our youngest, Paige, and her husband, Paul, and their 3 live in Gillette, Wyoming.
Okay, so they're all spread out.
Yeah, we're retired now.
Yeah.
He's retired now. I've
can
got
travel.
all the time on yeah. But we can just take our time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Road trips.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be so nice.
We
won't
may
it?
see them more.
You probably will, because you'll be able to
Possibly.
go to them.
Yeah.
Much easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two have experienced some very big changes in your life. Coming into the church, leaving a ministry as a pastor. Now you've had some medical things, and now you're going to be leaving the place you love.
Yep.
So how do you guys handle these big things happening to you all the time?
Well, obviously change is inevitable as long as we're living life. And a life verse for me has been Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. And so as best we can, we try daily to do just that, to honor the Lord and trust his direction more than our own. Also in Hebrews 11, the 10th verse, it says of Abraham that he was looking for that city whose foundations were built by God, whose builder and architect was God. And I am thoroughly convinced that the circuitous route that brought us to Sioux Falls was because God knew this would be the best portal for us to enter the Catholic Church or Catholicism.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He got us here, and we discerned and determined that we wanted to become Catholic, and obviously did. And so this next step, we're sensing that God is calling us to pull up our tent pegs and move
Look
east.
for that city.
And so I'm not sure what is next. I've not ever retired before. So everything is going to be new. Retirement, new city, new parish.
New home.
Yeah.
My wife is the same.
Yes.
My kids and grandkids are the same. But I've not ever lived with this family, only a mile and a half apart.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to the exciting days of being able to be blessed by their presence, as well as hopefully we can assist with their family dynamic.
That might be the best way to do retirement, like change everything. So you can't like you have to learn everything new. So there's something exciting happening in your life that isn't just like, oh, I retired, now I'm just going to sit at home.
Yeah. No.
And be
And we were never really worried about that because we get on. I mean, we're our best friends. So it's not like we were worried about being alone together.
Right.
Right.
It's just this was the right time.
Yeah.
Friedrich Nietzsche said, he had this phrase, the long obedience in the same direction.
Yeah.
And so tagging on to what Jeff has said, that has been a guiding phrase for me. He was a philosopher. I didn't agree with all his philosophy, but that's it. Our aim is to please the Lord our God, serve him with all our heart, because we have learned through many years of experience, it doesn't work any other way to give you the peace that you need. And so that's what I've thought in this whole process, that it's this long obedience. This is now the next step for us.
Yeah. If you just joined us, we're talking to Jeff and Lois Heron. So you just kind of touched on a little bit there, surrendering to God's plan. That's really been like a big part of your lives as you've gone about. You don't become a pastor without saying, okay, or a priest or whatever, you're surrendering to that. How have you two done this, surrendering, and what kind of advice can you offer for others to help them surrender? Because I think we all have a hard time with this. Sometimes we want to control.
It is a hard thing.
Yeah.
We live in a world that challenges us to seek our own freedom, to seek our own path. And often we find that we're trying to find the path of least resistance. And often that's not the correct way. just because we're Christians doesn't mean that the road is going to be easy.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the road is going to be without bumps and hurdles and obstacles and detours and those types of things. But again, back to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, if we're trusting in Him and following His directives and His direction, seeking to be obedient in what often appears to be the mundane or the daily routine, the ordinariness of life, seldom is life lived on the mountaintop. It's usually lived in the valleys.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we're in a valley right now, but we're moving in the direction that we believe God is calling us to move in. And if that means that there's going to be some challenges, well, God will be sufficient for those challenges and will provide the grace and whatever else we might have need of to make it.
Yeah.
And that's how we have lived our lives, I think, since the day that we said our I do's.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys ever find it difficult to hear and know what God wants from you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We could talk for a long time about all the
So it's not
struggles
just
we've
me,
had
then.
to get to this place where we can say that today.
Yeah.
But again, it's that long obedience.
Yeah.
First, our hearts were set on Christ, or the builder and architect of our faith. Then the other things they came along, but our eyes were fixed on that.
Yeah.
And the Catholic faith this is one of the first things that drew me to the Catholic faith. I heard this from a nun. Sacramental living, or sacrificing yourself, offering it up for Christ. Now, I understood the concept.
Yeah.
But we really live it as Catholics.
Right. Yeah.
It's like this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds a little, but it's like pulling against the yoke if you're not.
Right.
We are yoked with the Lord.
Yeah.
He knows the best path, but of course we have our free will.
Yeah.
And we'll pull against that. And we've both been given some physical challenges that we could have pulled against, but what would it have accomplished?
Right.
And or we'd have a sore neck. That's basically what we'd have.
Neck. Yes, that's true.
Whiplash.
Yeah. Well, and you said something, Jeff, about the ordinariness of life. I think if we surrender more in the ordinary times instead of just in those big moments when we're like, okay, I guess I have to because I don't have a choice. Like, the only thing I can do is lean on God. Yep. But we don't think about it like when we're just making supper or driving home, whatever, in our work, in our, maybe on a hard day at work, or I think we need to think about those times more.
Yeah,
Every moment.
And for most of us, the daily lifestyle is not always in crisis. And there are those moments of our living that things are going pretty smoothly and going good. But just because that's the case doesn't mean that we shouldn't continue to lean into the Lord and store up for those times in our relationship with the Lord when things get a little bit tough.
Yeah.
It was a little bit over a year ago when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Yeah. Underwent a successful surgery. I'm feeling well, doing well, and as far as I know right now, today, in this moment, cancer-free. That was not a diagnosis that I wanted to hear.
Right. No.
However, it didn't tip me over, and life continues to go on, and God is still God. He's still on the throne, and He has a plan for my life, and I'm seeking to follow it.
Yeah. He's going to take you to another diocese and let them have all the goodness you guys bring for a while. That's what He's doing.
Well, I don't know what. I look forward to see what He might have in mind for us as we enter into this diocese and to our local parish there, because I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know that we're coming other than whatever our daughter may have told the local parish priests, but we're on our way.
Boy, if any of you are listening, you just wait. You're getting some good ones here.
Well, and maybe it had been just for this time in our lives.
Maybe.
We've never lived with having 8 grandchildren to keep our lives full.
That is true. But you're still, even if you're not doing the things you're doing here, you're still there among the people in your parish and, serving them, giving of yourselves in even if it's just greeting and whatever it is.
Right.
So there are beautiful ways. Yeah, there are beautiful ways you can share your your beautiful faith
Yeah.
rather than just writing or OCIA.
Right.
Yeah, and don't give us too much credit. If there's anything good about us, it is because of God.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's been a hard one, surrender, at least on my part. It has been
Yeah.
on Jeff's too.
Yeah.
It's not like we were saints,
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
just, oh, yes, we'll have all the sufferings that's happened over these many, many years, because we know we're going to just do wonderful.
Right.
No.
Right.
We're just responding to God's faithfulness.
Yeah, yeah. So on that vein, I mean, you guys really, in the time that I've known you, this is going to sound weird. You make suffering seem easy. Like you just kind of see, from what we see, might be different at home. From what we see, I mean, you seem to take it all in stride and know that God is there. So what does the church teach about suffering, and how has that helped you?
You just said the operative phrase. God is still there.
Yeah.
He hasn't left.
Mm-hmm.
And why shouldn't I be the one to be called upon
Right.
to have that diagnosis?
Yeah.
I'm not someone special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of God's chosen people,
Mm-hmm.
and he loves me and he wants to do a work in me, but I'm a broken vessel that he's in the process of redeeming and converting every day. And if I continue to follow his leadership, he will do within me and in me and through me that which he chooses.
Yeah.
And I want to be open and responsive to that,
Yeah.
so that it appears as though it is easy, if there is such a thing as that word,
Yeah.
as you say.
Yeah.
And for me, I have a chronic disease, and it's not something that people just notice. So my struggles are more private, but I see how all of that from the very first, many, many years ago, how each of the experiences I've had with deterioration has made me more reliant on Christ. And he's given me treasures from the darkness.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's Jeremiah or Isaiah says that. So, I've asked, well, would you trade it? No, I really wouldn't trade. Yeah, I'd love to be pain-free, but there's so many graces in the caves,
Yes.
in the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. Suffering has a redemptive
Yeah.
quality to it.
It
That's
does.
why we offer it up, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly
For the
right.
redemption of ourselves and those who we offer it up for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. What gifts have you two received from your Catholic faith? Because I know there's been
And we
many.
only have 2 minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
you
There's-
got about 2-3 minutes. At
There's
least.
there's many. To start with the big view would be the sacraments. We come out of a tradition where there's only 2 sacraments, communion and baptism. And to be blessed with the 7 sacraments of Catholicism is just a wonderful, wonderful blessing and a privilege. To be able to lean into that. And then it was just a wonderful gift. It's a part of Catholicism, but a part of being a part of this parish, the cathedral. When Father Morgan asked me if I would be willing to lead OCIA when the previous person moved away, what a gift to me to be able to have some sort of a pastoral ministry, to scratch that itch that I came out of, and then to be able to understand the journey of these converts, understand some measure of the change that they're making, because I had to go through a similar change in converting from my Protestant background. So I think was a wonderful win-win for the parish, for those who are going through the OCIA various cohorts, and for myself as well, sensing that I had the privilege of pouring into the lives and teaching other people about this beautiful, beautiful faith that's called Catholicism.
Yeah. Lois, anything to add?
Well,
gifts.
I still go back to it, confession,
Yeah.
and then sacramental living.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beauty of the church drew me. But I just know how broken I was before I would receive the sacrament of confession.
Yeah.
And to be always being able to take it and release it and receive the graces from it. It's changed my life.
All too often we think of confession or the sacrament of reconciliation as being able to be forgiven, which is true, it is, but beyond and deeper than that, it's a sacrament of healing.
Yeah, that's what.
And God desires to heal us at the core of our person to help us to become the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
To become the person He created us to be in the first place.
Yeah.
And why we run away from it or don't take advantage of it boggles my mind. I guess it's because we don't always have a proper understanding and proper view of what confession is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's true.
It's just not a checklist to
Right.
keep you out of purgatory.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's like
It's so
just
much more
not
than
even
that.
part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is, but
That's
not
the
the
most
primary
important part.
concern.
Yeah.
To make you good now.
Yes. Lois, I remember we are just about out of time. I remember the first time I met you, you came into my office. We were talking about you writing for the Bulletin. Is that what it was for?
Probably.
I think it was. And you talked about confession. And I remember that. And you were very open about it. And I was just like, who is this woman? It's just so different from... You guys have a way of talking about your faith that most Catholics don't. We tend to just kind of stuff it in there. And
I think that's the difference between the Protestant background.
Yes, agreed. Especially a pastor and his wife.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful to be able to have you come into our lives and bring that
It's been a privilege
to us.
and an honor. I'll still write tonight.
Yes. So Lois is going to continue writing her column in the Bishop's Bulletin, Family Prayer, through the end of the year, right? Hopefully.
I'm having a hard time letting go.
With any luck. And if she wants to keep writing, she is welcome to do so. We'll
I
see.
just have to get through this transition.
Yes, we'll see what happens. But as long as she will continue writing for us, we will take her. You guys, I'm so glad to have known you.
Thank
here.
Oh, it's been a
I
gift
hope
to know you.
you will stay in touch with us here
Sure.
and with others in Sioux Falls, because I'm
Yep.
sure you've been a blessing to more than just us.
And we have good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've
You
lived
do.
in Sioux Falls for 31 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a lot of connections.
There's going to be a lot of people are going to have a little hole in their life that used to be filled by Jeff and Lois.
Well, we're going to have a hole in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish you both the very, very
Thank
best.
you.
And thank you for coming in and sharing some of your experiences with us. And I think they'll be helpful to some people. And
I hope so.
just
I
just
pray
to
so.
to hear how other people deal with this kind of stuff is really helpful. Anything you guys want to leave us with?
God bless you.
Just thank you.
Upward and onward.
Yes,
my
that's
famous
right.
last
I
words.
love that one. Upward and onward.
You just got to keep
It's a famous Lois phrase.
set your eyes like flint to the goal.
That's right.
I
That's
probably mixed my more metaphors there.
It's okay.
I do that all the time.
She does it when she talks, but not when she writes, right?
Right. Well, I can correct it there.
That's right. Thank you both so much for coming in today. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. All right. You can always find us if you're looking for anything about the diocese at the website at sfcatholic.org. That is it for us today. Hope you'll join us again next week for more Catholic Views.